What's going on, guys? Welcome into Rover Sports. I am happy that finally we get to see some college football being played this week. It's going to be fantastic that we get to see some college football on our TV sets this week. I'm going to talk about a lot of the big matchups real quick, and I'm going to give some of my picks. So the first game that I am going to say and preview is we have Tennessee playing West Virginia. I think that this game is so important for the Tennessee Vols because you have Tyson Helton, the brother of Clay Helton. He's the offensive coordinator now for Jeremy Pruitt in Tennessee. The quarterback competition is between Keller Christ, who I don't think is all that great from Stanford. I've watched him play. He is not very dynamic. He does not make big throws down the field. That's why KJ Costello won that job. I think Jarrett Guantanamo is a better quarterback than Keller Christ. So you're going to have him. You're going to have Tyson Chandler. I think you are going to have that guy Callaway, who's a talented wide receiver. Or you also have Marquez, I think it's Callaway, and then you also have the return of Jawan Jennings, who could be in the game as well. So, looking at Tennessee, a team that didn't win any SEC games last year, Jeremy Pruitt knows from Nick Saban how to prepare a team to go into battle for the first game. I mean, Jeremy Pruitt learned every year Alabama would bomb whoever they played in the first game, whether that be Southern Cal a couple of years ago, whether that be Florida State. I mean, Alabama, that was even before Frank Qua got hurt. They absolutely murdered the Seminoles in that game. It was like 17-0. I mean, the defense was just crazy. West Virginia, when you think of West Virginia, you think of a soft football team. You think of a team that is a Big 12 team that airs the ball all over the yard. They're the classic Big 12 team. And yes, Will Grier is good. And yes, the wide receiver David Sills and whatever. And Dana Holgerson has an attack. But people are acting like Tennessee has no chance in this football game. I think Tennessee's going to damn win this game in Charlotte. They're going to go out, they're going to maul the shit out of the West Virginia Mountaineers, and they are going to go ahead and rough them up and out-physical and punk these guys in Charlotte. The Vols are going to beat the West Virginia, and it's important because Tennessee, the East is going to be good this year. I think Kentucky is with Terry Wilson at quarterback. Terry Wilson is a dark horse Heisman candidate if he actually gets to play and they don't put in the other guy, Gunnar Hoke, because Terry Wilson, to me, reminds me of RG3 in the way that he plays the game. So Kentucky could be dynamic this year with Benny Snell and Terry Wilson at quarterback. South Carolina is going to be much improved with McClendon there as the offensive coordinator, and Kurt Roper is sucked everywhere he's gone. Finally, Will Muschamp is off of the chain that Kurt Roper was to South Carolina. You then have Florida and Dan Mullen, and they return a good defensive staff with now Todd Grantham in this defense, okay? So Florida is going to be a lot better. Tennessee, as I said, is going to be very good. And then the Bulldogs of Georgia, they're going to be playing South Carolina. And if you're the SEC, you would want South Carolina to beat Georgia because you want parity in your league. And for South Carolina, for Jake Bentley, for Deebo Samuel, Rico Dowdle, this is the time for South Carolina. You have Brian Edwards, you have Deebo Samuel. These are two wide receivers that are going to be taken in the first 3 rounds of the NFL draft. You need to go ahead and you need to hit this big with your up-tempo offense this year. So another game I like is I like Auburn to beat the crap out of Washington. I mean, Jake Browning is not a legitimate quarterback. Washington doesn't have any good wins on their schedule. They lost to Penn State when they played them last year. Okay, Washington plays in a conference of really mediocre coaches, a soft league out west. Auburn's going to whip the shit out of them in the Georgia Dome. Jarrett Stidham, Cam Martin. Auburn's defense has a lot of guys returning, okay? Kevin Steele's one of the best coordinators in the country. Chip Lindsey and Stidham get another year together. This game is not going to be close. And then finally, another pick that I think I'm going to go with. I'm going to go Northwestern over Purdue. Okay, Northwestern's playing at home. I know Purdue is good in their early opening games, but I like Clayton Forson. I like Northwestern over Purdue. Another game is I think that Coach O and LSU is going to surprise some people. Joe Burrow at quarterback. That is the game I'm really looking forward to seeing, along with Virginia Tech and Florida State. And then Shea Patterson in Michigan versus Notre Dame. That game's not safe. I think Notre Dame's going to find a way to win, but I'm not comfortable betting that game at all. But then the other game that I think really is going to surprise people, LSU, their conditioning program is crazy. I mean, that BYU LSU game last year, LSU came out guns blazing. So LSU could really put a scare into Miami. I think LSU can win the game outright. I'll say that here on my channel. I'm not that confident. I'm more confident in Tennessee beating West Virginia. However, I am going to go with LSU as well. So put that in stone. Bama will cover. LSU, it's going to be a huge weekend for the SEC. The SEC is going to roll this weekend, and it's going to be a great weekend of college football. So those are some of my picks. I think Auburn wins big. I think Tennessee drills West Virginia. It is going to be a fantastic, fantastic week of college football. Saturday's going to be wonderful. Thursday night, we get to see Texas A&M. We get to see Minnesota and their new freshman quarterback play. And then we also get to see a Big Ten game up in Evanston. We get to see Northwestern and Purdue. It is going to be a fantastic week. We also get to see Lane Kiffin and FAU play Oklahoma. Texas Tech and Ole Miss. It's a wild, wild first weekend of college football, and I hope that everybody enjoys the shit out of it. I hope everybody has a wonderful freaking week. I got another film review coming back in the studio. Rover Sports. Thank you.